Hello everyone, welcome back. Disaster happened. After filming and editing the last video, I decided I wanted to add a little bit more decoration around the mineshaft. So I added this moss and some cobblestone. I've added some signs and trapdoors around the mineshaft. And while I was working up there, I didn't light that place up yet, so a skeleton spawned and it shooed me off the pillar. So I fell down over here and I died. I picked up all my stuff again, luckily, but I lost a bunch of levels. I am pretty bummed right now that I died, and it's not on camera, so you guys will just have to believe me. I want to make sort of a gravestone here to commemorate my loss. Just mentioning what happened and when it happened. The message on the bottom left that it gave me was that Nuvela MC was doomed to fall to death by a skeleton. So it only seems fitting to put that on the gravestone. Well, it happened in between episode 3 and 4, but let's make it episode 3. So it took me 3 episodes to die for the first time. Probably a record for me. It's also the first time ever that I'm recording episodes. So yeah, that happened. It's making me feel like I want to do something else today, because I've been spending quite a bit of time down here now and want to do something on the surface. So today I'm going to explore, because we've been playing this game for a while now and we haven't spotted any villages yet. We'll need those for trading eventually. So let's take the minecart up to the surface, grab some stuff, some extra food perhaps, and let's head out. Let me make a spare pickaxe real quick and then we can go. Okay, there we go. We've got some extra food, still eating fish. May want to do something about that today as well. Okay, so I want to head out to the south today, because I've seen a jungle when we were up the mountain in the first episode. And I want to head over there because I want to gather some materials as well. Because we've got a couple of goals today. And that's first of all to find a village. And secondly, I want to expand my possibilities for building by grabbing as many types of wood as possible and hopefully some saplings. And hopefully we'll come across some interesting terrain, or, well, if we're going to a jungle, maybe a jungle temple. Let's go. Okay, we're at the edge of the valley. It's a pretty big mountain. So we're not going to the right today, because as you can see there are icebergs there in the distance. I don't want to go there yet. We are going to the left. Gonna go to that jungle over there. But this is a really pretty spot. Situated perfectly in between these mountains. Just look at that, it's so big. I think this is a great spot for like a huge castle maybe, or a dungeon, or maybe a trading outpost. But let me know what you would build here, because this is a magnificent spot and it's pretty close to spawn, so we could connect it. Anyway, let's move on. Seems we're getting near the ocean. Kind of feels like it's the end of our world, doesn't it? But it's not. Oh, that's actually pretty high. Yeah, it's very high. It's pretty cool. Sun is setting over this huge ocean. Hey, is that... We've got a sunken ship over there, so let's head out there first. Oh, I made a spyglass especially for this, so why am I not using it? You can see a dark oak forest over there, so we'll head there as well. There's the ship. You can see bamboo and jungle over there. Yeah, it's getting nighttime, so let's sleep first and then we can head out. Okay, so it's morning. I haven't made a boat yet, so let's do that. And why not make a boat with a chest, so that we can take more items with us. There we go. Let's have some food. Now, how do we get down here? Why not just jump? That's pretty cool. Make sure we make it. Everybody ready? Let's go! Nice. Get in our boat. I like the reflections on the water of the clouds, actually. Okay, so where do we go first? Let's go to the ship. Here we are. Let's swim down here and see what goodies we got. Can hear a dolphin. Hello? Okay. Oh, that's a bunch of iron. That's always useful. Make sure we don't drown here. So, where's the second chest? It's down here, isn't it? It's always nice to have this doorway here. Gives you an air pocket. Hey, look at that. We've got an armor trim. Cool. And a buried treasure map. Is it close by? It's back up north. Okay. Or no, we are to the north. It feels like it's in a different direction that we want to go. There's a third chest. Bunch of potatoes, that's nice. Moss block and some suspicious stew. The rest of this I don't feel like I can use, so I'll just leave it. Well, that's a pretty good haul if you ask me. Got some iron, got a coast armor trim, some nuggies, potatoes, moss, a couple of books and some paper, some bones, and some suspicious stew. Let's see what we got. Night vision. Oh, that's actually pretty handy. We've got a second one, right? Let's see what this one is. Also night vision. Okay. Oh, that was fun. So we've got two options now. We can go on with the original plan and go to the Dark Oak Forest, grab ourselves some Dark Oak wood and some saplings, or we can go for the buried treasure map. But that would be all the way in the other direction, I believe. I think I'm gonna save that for another day. Right now, I want to focus on grabbing myself some resources. So let's make our way to the Dark Oak Forest. There we go, some land. And let's go grab ourselves some Dark Oak. I don't want to take too much wood with me right now, because I want to get as many wood types as possible and mainly focus on getting the saplings actually, to make sure that we have a renewable way of growing them at home. So I won't spend too much time here, just cut down a couple of trees, grab my saplings, and move on to probably the jungle. Here we go. As you can see, we've got almost 2 stacks of dark oak wood and 15 saplings. I think that's enough for now, so let's move on. Follow along the coast and just try to spot anything interesting. I really like this jungle island. Let's go and grab ourselves some jungle wood. Hopefully some cocoa beans and some bamboo. Maybe some melons. Here we are. Let's make our way to a suitable landing spot. Grab ourselves some jungle wood. I don't tend to use a lot of jungle wood actually in my builds, but one of the challenges that I want to do in this playthrough is build with blocks that I don't normally use and just see how it works. I'm just gonna grab some saplings as well, and of course get my hands on some bamboo. Now before I leave the island, I also want to make sure that I grab some watermelons, some cocoa beans, maybe some vines, which I can grow at home then as well. And why not take the extra sugarcane while we're at it, right? As you can see, I got a bunch of jungle wood. I got some vines, some saplings, some leaves, some bamboo, got some extra sugarcane, some melons, some ferns, which I can use for decorating, and some cocoa beans. So I think I got pretty much everything that I can get from a jungle biome. Hey, that's a pretty big coral reef. I can use those blocks. Yeah, that's actually pretty nice. This could fill up my inventory pretty quick actually, so I want to be smart about this. What I mainly use is brain coral blocks. So I'm just gonna grab those for now and leave the rest for a different day. Also, because I don't have Silk Touch, I will only get dead coral blocks right now and I can't take the fans with me. So let's just grab a little bit and move on. If you didn't know, placing down a doorway at the bottom creates an air pocket for you, just like we had in the sunken ship. This makes it a lot easier and quicker to mine underwater, at least in early game. Okay, so I got about a stack and I can see an azalea tree over there. It looks like we're nearing the end of the ocean right here. Wait, what? Finally! Finally our first village, look at that. Let's make our way over there. Man, that took a while. Just at the edge of the Badlands right here, we finally got ourselves a desert village. Hello sir, how are you doing? It's so nice to see you. Finally some life in this world. So glad to meet the neighbors. Why are you walking away from me? Please don't go. Do I smell? Anyway, let's do what you are supposed to do with every single village that you find in Minecraft. Loot the place. I can already see some crops here that I don't have. I believe these are beetroot seeds. Well, there's actually quite a few of you, isn't there? It's so nice. So glad to have found you. You don't mind me taking this bell, do you? Thank you. Hello, Mr. Camel. I'm just going to ignore you for now. Some cactus and pots, which is nice. Yeah, some emeralds and some extra food. That can always come in handy. Is there anything else here? Hello? Nope. What do you got? An extra emerald, that's cool. And a book. Don't find that very often. Because we don't have a sustainable way of getting food, why not just take these hay bales and make bread out of it? More bread, more wheat. And again, more bread, more wheat. Well, I'm not gonna complain, I'm just very happy to have met the neighbors finally. They are pretty far away actually, so I want to take another route on the way back. Try and find a village a little bit closer than this. I think I've got everything from this village that I want. Now where are we? How far away is this? Press F3. 3,600 blocks. Over 3,500 blocks away. That's nuts. You can actually see the mountains all the way in the back. Distant Horizons is such a sick mod actually. But that's so far. Well, I haven't found every single biome yet that I want, because I still need a savanna and perhaps some mangrove as well. We are in a hot biome now, so finding a mangrove should get easier. Let's move on. See where we end up. Well, it seems that we've reached the end of the ocean, so I'll have to go on foot from here. Hello, let me just walk around you. Don't feel like dealing with you guys right now. Hey, and there's another village. It's actually pretty close to the first one. This one seems a bit bigger as well. I can already see a weaponsmith, so hopefully we'll get some goodies. So even though that this village is a lot bigger than the first one, it actually doesn't have any good loot. I did, however, spot a mangrove forest right there. So I'm gonna head over there, grab myself some mangrove wood and some propagules, and that's an extra type of wood. Like, I'm not showing everything on camera here, but I have been grabbing a bunch of sugarcane on the way to make sure that we have enough paper for books that we can turn into bookcases. We're nearing the point that I want to get an enchantment set up and get an upgrade for my gear. First, let's grab ourselves some mangrove wood. Cutting down these trees can be a real nuisance because the wood is surrounded by the leaves and it's a very difficult terrain to get through. I think they did a great job in simulating how tough this terrain is in real life as well. Props to Mojang. And look at that, we've got some frogs. Pretty strange having a desert hill in the middle of a mangrove forest. Hello there, friend. Wait, what? A village? In the middle of the mangrove forest? That's nuts. Let's go check it out. Do you have some goodies for me? No, you don't? Okay. Maybe somewhere else? Nope. No goodies as well. No goodies. And no goodies. Okay, this is a pretty crappy village, to be honest. But having this in the middle of the mangrove forest, that's nuts. Maybe we can transform this village and make it like a real mangrove type of village, a swamp kind of village. That would be cool, right? What's the... Oh, wait a minute, this is a librarian. That's nice. Some bookcases. Let's see what you got. Breach 4, I don't know this. What does breach do? Must be for the new maze, I guess. I have no clue if this is a good enchantment or not, but I do know that I have no use for it right now. So I'll just take the lectern, so that I don't have to craft that myself. And I'll find a way to get some villagers to spawn, and so that we can get some access to hopefully some mending books soon, because I've already gone through quite a few diamond tools, which makes me pretty sad actually. Hello, Mr. Camel. How are you doing? Yeah, it's a really lazy day, isn't it? If only you knew that I've walked about 5,000 blocks to get to you. And with that, I think that we've traveled far enough. So let's head back home and try to find a different route in order to find at least a savanna and hopefully some villagers closer to home. So while rowing back, I'm at the coral reef again and I can see a savanna right over there. So let's go and grab some acacia. My inventory is actually clogged right now, so let's leave some stuff that we don't necessarily need right now and take those saplings with me. There we go. Now we're actually getting pretty close to home already, and I'm just scanning the coast right now to see anything interesting, and I see a village right there. Oh, that's so much closer to home. Let's head over there. And I think actually in front of that big rock right there, yeah, that has to be another village right there. Nice. Oh, that's so much closer. Let's head over there. Okay, this village has 2 blacksmiths. That's nice. It's a pretty big village. And what do I want to take from here? The blast furnace I don't really need right now. What's in the chest? Some apples. Okay, you can keep those. Oh, there's a church. So I get a brewing stand. And here we got the first weaponsmith. Let's see what we got. 2 diamonds. Nice. 3 diamonds. I'll take those any day. And what do I leave behind? I'll leave the stone cutter here, I guess, because I already got that. And do I want a diamond horse armor as well? What would I leave for it? I don't know. Okay, I'll just leave the iron pickaxe here for now. But I'll probably come back for that later on. Because this is so much closer, so I could set up a nether portal, for example, and use the nether to transport the villagers to my place. It's actually getting dark, so we need to get to sleep soon. 2 more diamonds. Holy. That's nice. Well, don't mind if I take those. Some obsidian as well. I'll just leave that here for now because I'm stocked up on goodies and I don't want to trade obsidian for anything that I've already got. Now it's getting nighttime, so let's sleep first. Then let's go and grab the brewing stand from the church and let's head out to the next village, which is even closer to home. Ooh, wait a minute. Before I go, let's take these carrots as well. Then we've got all the crop types we'll need. There we are, I can already see another weaponsmith. And this is so much closer to home. This is less than 1,000 blocks, I think. Now let's see what you've got. That other village gave me 4 diamonds, so I'm expecting a lot here, sir. Wow. That's pretty sad, man. You're not doing very well, are you? Business isn't booming for you, is it? Let's move on and just pretend that never happened. I'll take some more carrots, thank you. And then I think, because I'm completely stocked up on goods, I already got a brewing stand. I don't need anything else. So I'm just gonna go back home and cross the pond, and then let's see what we got. Okay, so I took the boat as close to Traveler's Rest as possible, and I transported all of the goodies we got to this double chest right here. Now, as you can see, we've got almost a double chest full of goodies. Of course, we got the sunken ship loot with some armor trim and some iron and gold nuggies. A buried treasure map that we still need to find. I got a bunch of coral blocks and sea cucumbers from the coral reef. And we got a bunch of wood types. Got acacia, got mangrove. I took some mud with me as well. We got all the things that we could ever want from a jungle biome, as well as the dark oak biome. I sheared a bunch of azalea leaves from one of the azalea trees I ran into in the desert. Got a bunch of books from the villages. I got a lot of sugarcane growing in the desert actually. And we got a bunch of goods and workstations from the villages as well. And of course, we got 4 diamonds, which is basically free. Some emeralds, which we can always make use of later on. Probably most importantly, a bunch of hay bales that we can turn into bread or use to breed animals. And that's interesting, because we don't have a food source yet. So maybe it's time to start working on an animal barn. First though, I promised you that I would finish the top part of the mine entrance. So let's hop into a time lapse in which I'm gonna build the top part of the mine entrance. What I want to do is create a crane that's hauling all of the resources from down below to the top right here. To create enough space for that, I had to dig away a pretty big chunk of terrain right here, which took me a couple of days in game because I don't have enchanted tools right now, but I don't mind. It's pretty zen kind of work. After that, I created an area in which the goods are hauled upwards. Made a nice little platform with some raw iron and raw copper. Terraformed the terrain a little bit with some of the dead coral blocks and some slabs and stairs. And then on the mine entrance itself, I kept it pretty basic with some trapdoors around the side and around the hole in the middle of the platform where the minecart goes down. Some oak fences to give it a bit more of a sturdy look. Using the chains and some grindstones really make the crane look functional, if you know what I mean. And for the roof, I decided to go for stone stairs and fill it up with mangrove, just like this. I think it looks very nice to have a little bit more color in this than just the brown color from spruce and oak. And finally, to really make it blend into the landscape a little bit, I decided to put some moss around, some leaves and some trees. I think it now really comes alive and as if it's been here for a while, you know, like I do with all of my builds. Eventually I'm going to connect all builds in the world that we have, but for now when you walk up to this mine entrance, I think it already looks really alive, you know? If you look to the right here, it's not necessarily a place that you will walk quite a bit because it's actually quite dangerous. You can fall down here. It does look very cozy. And I think that the trees help a lot with this because it makes you feel as if you're secluded somewhere. And on the platform right here, it's actually very simple. Just a couple of trapdoors. You can walk around. You can walk all the way over here and look at all the goodies. Of course, I've put down some lanterns to light it up. Here you can take the minecart downstairs. I think this turned out really good. And still simple enough to be early game, I think. The next thing I want to do is to lay down the pathway all the way from our first dawn shelter along the mine entrance to Traveler's Rest. And I want to show you this from above so that I can showcase where I want to build stuff. Because this hill in the middle right here is going to be the main village. So I want to work around that. And in the corner at the top left right here, I might just build an animal barn in a minute. So today I want to terraform a little bit, because one of the first things that I noticed is that there's a water source coming down from the mountain at the back of the valley, and I want to create a waterfall here. So how I'm gonna do this is just dig away a part of the surface all the way down, make my way to the ravine, and I'm going to fill that ravine with water. Of course, not all the way to the bottom. I'm gonna put in a floor first. But instead of falling down into a ravine to our death, this makes it look so much more alive. So let me show you in a time lapse again what I did. I hope you don't mind and that it's still enjoyable to watch. Now, as you can see in the time lapse, I dug away a channel all the way to the ravine and created a little river that runs all the way from the top of the mountain to the ravine. I then decided to fill in the ravine and made a floor on top of it to make sure that we don't fall to our death and that the river eventually runs into a small little lake. Filling the lake is actually quite simple because you will need 2 buckets of water to create an infinite water source and just place a bucket of water every other block. The lake will then just fill itself. I extended the pathways into this part of the valley, and this is the moment that we are going to start working on our first farm. And what other farm could that be than the first farm that I ever uploaded on the channel? The chicken coop. Now I can hear you think, why do you need so many eggs? Well, at a certain point I want to create a chicken farm, so for that I will need a lot of eggs. But also at some point in the series, I will be fighting the wither probably. And to get wither roses, it's always a good idea to grow a lot of chickens in the area that you are going to fight the wither. And then as soon as the wither explodes, it kills all the chickens and gives you a bunch of wither roses. So an egg farm is always a good idea, whether it's in early game or late game. If you want to build this chicken coop yourself, as mentioned, it's the first video that I ever uploaded on the channel, so you can go and check that out. Do note that it's my first video ever, so you won't hear my voice, and it may be a little bit choppy, but I do hope that I improved over time. Last thing to do is to get some chickens in, and one of the comments I frequently get is that the chickens are able to jump over the trapdoors and escape the farm. If you place the trapdoors from the outside towards the inside, they will be able to jump over it when jumping into the area. But now, as you can see right here, if you jump back over, they are not able to jump over those trapdoors. See? So it does work, trust me. If it's not working for you, then I'm afraid that you might be making a mistake. Anyway, let's get these chickens into the coop, breed them up, and now produce some eggs for me, please. The output barrel is here on the side. I want to make sure that this is lit up and that I don't get attacked by mobs while being near the farm. We can create a lamppost here, and I'll place these all along the area next to the roads that we are going to make. And as I do in pretty much all of my videos, I will place down some coarse dirt around the chicken coop to really make it feel as if it's been built here and not just stuck to the grass. There we go. It can be as easy as that, people. Place down some grass in the pen. There we go. Now we don't have a coral fan yet, so I'm not able to make a nest just like I do in the chicken coop video. Maybe I'll add those later on as soon as we got some silk touch. Yeah, look at that. We already got our first egg. Will it hatch? No. That's a bummer. Next, I wanted to start working on a wheat field that can grow in between the chicken coop and, yes, the animal barn that I'm starting on right here. This is the same animal barn that's on the channel as well. In that animal barn, I built 4 food farms, all using entity gramming to create beef, mutton, bacon and chicken. Now, I feel like I don't need those farms right now, so I'm just going to use it to store all of my crops. I'll build a couple of stables in here for a horse and a donkey, because we've got more than enough saddles and we got some name tags. So that's something we're gonna do pretty soon. And I'll make a pasture for some cows and some sheep, because those are useful mobs to me. And I'm a free range kind of guy, you know? Give them some space. Now, if I'm going to show you every little bit of detailing that I've done to this place, this video would be about 4 hours long. And YouTube doesn't really like that. So I'm just going to show you the end result. Trust me, this took me way too long, which is also one of the reasons why this video is out so late. But the end result is pretty nice. Here you can see what I did to the waterfall. I placed some moss around, I placed some leaves around, and as you can see in the water, I also replaced some of the blocks behind it. Now along the river right here, I created some extra stones as if they've fallen down from the mountain in the river. Placed some trees around and used a bunch of stuff to decorate it all the way to the end where it goes into the lake right here. I didn't have a lot of time for the lake just yet, so I placed down some sugarcane, some azalea leaves and some bone meal on the bottom of the lake to create some seagrass. Now you can also see the cow pasture that I created using stone blocks and spruce fences. And if we move to this side, you can see the wheat field that I created and the pathways. Chicken coop in the background. We have some lampposts. On this side of the animal barn, we got a sheep pasture, created pretty much the same way as the cow pasture. And I just really like to plant down a lot of trees around and reforest the area a little bit. It's good for nature, it's good for the eyes. I can't think of any negatives about it. We got a bunch more chickens already in the chicken coop, because as mentioned, this took me quite a while. But I'm really happy with the end result right here. And yeah, it's not really done actually, because this is just what we can do right now. Imagine what we can do if we have access to all the blocks in the world. Have an elytra to grab some special stuff that we don't have. This is all pretty basic stuff that you can get early game. Because remember, we don't even have enchanted gear yet. So as long as you take your time, you can create this yourself. You don't need to have beaten the dragon yet or gone to the end and get an elytra. I haven't even been to the nether yet. Now there are still a bunch of details that I need to work on. For example, the sides of these wheat fields. I think that they need to look a little bit more overgrown with some extra grass, for example. You can see the slit beneath the stone right now. That's because I don't have enough stone yet to put another stone underneath this and make it look a little bit better. We've got the mine entrance. I forgot a coarse dirt right here. Here you can also see the slit underneath the stone slab. The chicken coop is doing pretty well. Chickens are trying to escape, but they can't. We already got a couple of stacks. That's really nice. And I've already broken quite a few of eggs to get more chickens in there. So this farm is only going to become more efficient over time. But you can see that right now I just called it the chicken coop. And if you're wondering, how do you get those texts on screen? That's the areas mod. You can find it in the mod list that's down in the description. It's a really fun way and very simple way to create more story and life to your world. Walking up to the barn, you will notice, there we go, entering the barn. This cluster of trees right here is, I don't know yet if I like it, so I might change that later on. But here you can see the cows, and I can actually remove these torches because you can see those moss carpets. Underneath these moss carpets are jack-o'-lanterns, so the place is actually lit up without the use of torches. By hiding these under the moss carpets, you don't see the lighting, but it does work. And I think it's a very subtle way of making sure that no mobs spawn in between the animals. Moving into the barn, we've got a little crafting space over there. We've got space for a couple of horses or a donkey. Got some more storage over here. And here we have the sheep pasture. Again, we've got some jack-o'-lanterns in the ground, so no need to light it up using torches. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I can show you the waterfall maybe. This took me so much longer than I wanted because I put in so much detail here. Got some sweetberry bushes, some moss, some slabs and stairs, some leaves. I planted a bunch of trees around. And I wanted to make sure that the entire thing is decorated. So I put down this stuff all the way to the top right there. And yeah, I think that this turned out really nice. It really looks like a wild river, you know? The moss really adds a lot to it. I forgot to show you the top part of the barn actually. This is where we got some storage for the crops that we are growing. I already got a couple of wheat. I got a bunch of potatoes. On this side, I got a bunch of beetroots and some carrots. In the middle we could keep pumpkins and melons, for example, but we're not growing those yet. I think that this is enough for today. It took me about 10 hours of filming and even more time editing this to get this out to you. Sorry that it took a little bit more time than you're used to maybe, but I want to make sure that the videos that I get out to you are of enough quality that I can be proud of and not just get them out there because I've got a deadline, you know? We did a bunch in this episode. We've experienced our first death, or at least put down a gravestone for it. We went out on an adventure, found multiple villages, a sunken treasure, bunch of wood types, and we created this entire backyard, basically, of the village that we are going to build. In the next episode, we've got a couple of options. I could make an XP farm and an enchantment setup, or I could go and grab those villagers and transport them towards our spawn area right here via the nether, for example. Let me know in the comments below. I hope you enjoyed this video. If so, leave a like of course. And if you want to see more stuff like this, stick around, consider subscribing. I hope to see you in the next video and have a great day. Cheers!